Hey everybody, it's Jen here. This is round 6, day 34. And I left y'all off last time with telling you how I was kind of stuck between 189 and 190. So I was going to do an apple day, and I did do an apple day 2 days ago. I ate 333 calories of apple. I don't remember how many grams that is, but it surprised me. I expected to eat a little bit more. It only turned out to be 4 apples, so I was full all day. I didn't really... And of course, every progressive apple, you want an apple less. So, you know, by the end of the night, that was plenty. I was never hungry the whole day, and that kind of surprised me because I usually don't eat apples on HCG because carbs, sugar, and stuff tend to make me hungrier. And apples have a little more sugar than the usual berries I eat, so, but no, I was fine. And I was freezing cold in the middle of the night last night. So cold, I had to wrap a blanket around my head. And you know when you get that way, you're in ketosis. So 4 apples did it for me. So I kind of expected a loss, and I was rewarded. I went from, let's see, 190.0 to 187.6. So I lost 2.4 pounds. I was really happy with that. And I wrote on my FitnessPal that I was real happy with that, and I expected when I started, eating the next day and added, there's no salt in apples, so I expected I lost some weight due to, retaining water from eating salt, in the normal day's salt. So I figured some of that weight had to be, more water loss, so when I started eating more salt, I would gain a little of it back, just not fat weight, just, water weight. So I wrote that on my FitnessPal. I was being very positive about it, and Miss HCG girl was like, you need to have faith in that apple day. And I was like, wow, that came out sounding negative. And I didn't mean it. I meant more of, I'm expecting it, therefore I'm not going to be disappointed when I gain half a pound or even a pound of it back. Because I know it's, water weight. I was being real rational and calm and not dramatic, and, and so it's kind of funny that it was taken in a different way. But I should have kept the faith, because darn it if she doesn't know better. I lost another 0.2 the next day, so I was never more happy to see a butter day than that day. I couldn't believe I didn't gain at least a little back. So, my apple day was an absolute complete success. Woohoo, right? And today was one of the 2 days in this round that I knew was going to be challenging. The first one was last weekend when we had my husband's brother come visit, and I ended up doing a low-carb day with a little more fat, and I think it was 700 more calories than I would have eaten in a VLCD, which is not a whole lot, and it was all pretty much fat, like avocado and a little bit of cheese on my hamburger, and I made a sugar-free, nut-crusted, low-carb cheesecake, a real good baked one, but it was fat, basically. And I usually do really well with fat, but the next day I was up 0.8 of a pound. And I think that might have been what put me in the stall. You can't fool around with P2 too much. So I was real happy that the apple day worked, because I had, just kind of dug my own hole, right? So today was the next challenge. And today was a meeting sort of / party thing where I was cooking. And that's a good thing, because I could control the food. But I still had to provide food for these, college-age kids. I had to provide food that they would eat, so I made a sandwich tray with 4 different kinds of deli meats and 2 different kinds of cheeses, and we had all kinds of lettuce and tomato and pickles and olives and stuff that, don't have any sugars or starches in them, so I felt free to, eat. some of this stuff. It was a little bit high on the salt, of course, but I felt pretty good about, I can make myself a meal and, eat with everybody else. Food porn ahead, just so you know. If you can't handle it right now, turn me off. We had Hawaiian rolls with it. Oh, God. Why do I buy things I really want? I could have bought just loaves of bread, that I could care less about, but no, I had to buy the Hawaiian rolls. I didn't eat any. I am saving some to eat, yes, I am. But I made me a little Italian salad with a little of that Kraft anything zesty Italian dressing, which is 50 calories, 2 tablespoons, which is pretty good. And I had some pepperoncinis and a few olives, and I did have some real cheese instead of fat-free, which is, I don't do that on P2, so that was a treat. And then the deli chicken and the deli roast beef, and and lettuce and tomato, did I say that? It was very good. It was quite good. A little higher fat than I usually eat, but hopefully that won't bite me in the butt again. And then I made this cake, yeah, the real food porn, called a Better Than Almost Anything cake, and oh my God, it was better than almost anything, let me tell you. Look that recipe up. It's a Betty Crocker recipe, and I used white cake instead of chocolate, I used the caramel topping choice variation, and oh, this recipe only makes 15 slices instead of the usual 12. I didn't know why, but it's rich enough you don't need a 12th of a cake. A 15th of a cake is a good enough size piece, and I only ate a 5th of a slice, and it turned out to be like 79 calories and 9 carbs, I think. So that was my deal. It was planned ahead of time, and I stuck another piece or 2 or 3 in the freezer for my next loading, so which is probably going to come sooner than later, but right. Anyway, I avoided most of the cake and stuck with my plan, and I had a yogurt set aside for dinner, and I didn't even want it. I was plenty full, so I don't even think I made my 600 calories. It's just how it was made up with a little more fat and that little bit of cake that it did the trick for me. So we'll see how I do tomorrow. I hope I didn't set myself into another stall because I broke P2 foods, but I'm doing pretty good. I only have, considering it's the end of the day, I always blog before bed. I'm in my blanket. I'm all freezing. I guess I'm still in ketosis. I don't know how, because I ate that cake, but I guess it wasn't that many carbs anyway. But I have... I've been saying all day I have 4 more days after today, but I only have 3. But I have 4 more weigh-ins. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning. And then I'm going to go on my planned interruption number 2 and take off for, I think it's 12 days, though some of them I'm going to try to do low carb, just to not gain weight. I gain weight really fast. And then I'm going to do a small round, not a round, I'm going to continue in December. I think I have like 2 weeks set aside in December. I'm going to take another interruption for over the Christmas holidays. Go back on the P2 in January until I get down to where I'm, I've actually accomplished something this round other than just, the couple of pounds I've, of new territory I've claimed. And then I'm actually going to do a P3 the proper way, like I haven't done since like more than a year ago, maybe a year ago. And I'm going to actually stabilize this time and do everything I can so that I keep this weight off and not gain it back. Because I really gain in P3, and this is going to be the super slowest P3 you ever did see. That's the plan. So y'all have a good night.